Alright, so coming into part two, we're going to play around with Mission Planner a little bit with the Pixhawk in particular. This is the 3DR radio module, one half of it. This is the ground half that's connected to my computer. That green light blinking means that it is looking for connection. And the reason why it doesn't have one is because this end's not booted up. So, I'm going to plug this end in. That's the boot sound for the Pixhawk. And you'll see kind of the lights come up. I don't know if I'll be able to really get this that well, but kind of the cop lights in there mean that it's just kind of booted up in normal mode. And then the other end of the telemetry here, you'll see that's solid green now. The blinking red thing just means it's getting information, transmitting, stuff like that. So that's not something to worry about. And then we're going to come to the computer here and open up the Mission Planner software. Something I'll say is the telemetry radios, you got to make sure you download the drivers for them onto each computer you're using. I struggled with it because, you know, these things were lit green and it was saying it was connected, but it just wasn't. I don't know. They're not incredibly easy to find, but a Google search you can get them. So in my particular case, COM port 4, you always want to set the telemetry radio to 57600 on the baud rate and connect your Mavlink. And it'll go through this little getting parameters thing, which for some reason takes a little while. When you connect the Pixhawk directly through a USB port, it doesn't seem to really take this long. I guess the transmission rate's a little slower or something. But yeah, you'll see the red light blinking on this one now too, which means it's sending and receiving information. Okay, so we're all booted up, we're done. You'll see the GPS came on, showing my home location here. Something I wanted to show that's actually really cool when you're first setting it up and making sure you got the polarity right on your motor wires to make sure they're spinning the right way. Go into your terminal. You want to select PX4 Pixhawk, or if you're running APM, same thing. Connect it. It'll reboot the Pixhawk. Kind of go through its thing here. This is the newest version of Mission Planner. This must have just come out tonight or something. I don't know, because I just updated it 1.3.7. So here in your terminal, you can type in test. This is a new function, I believe, that just recently came out. And you have to have your motors plugged in as well. Here, give me just a second. Alright, so now that the motors are plugged in, we've got a test on here, and we're going to test, and then motors. I may have to arm this first. So it's going to run through the motor test now. Where's it at? Oh, it's over here. Okay. So what it does is it just comes through and spins each motor in order, one by one, so you can see which motors are spinning the proper direction and which motors are not. And then it'll go through this as many times as you want, and then you can maybe mark the motors or whatever you need to do to change the polarity on some of them. I actually got really lucky that when I did this, I only had two that were not the correct direction. And then when you're done kind of seeing all that, you come back to your terminal here and you press any key. It doesn't matter which key. And it'll run through, it's got to finish its current cycle. So it'll run through that top motor up there, motor 5, and then it should stop. And then you can disarm and unplug, at least for the motor wires. So that's kind of a cool feature. Then you gotta see start beeping again, which is annoying. So yeah, that's the motor test and kind of connecting your Pixhawk wirelessly with the telemetry modules to your ground station. In this case I'm using Mission Planner, but I suppose you could be using like Q Ground Control, or I think there's one more, but I haven't played around with that at all. So, alright, next video is coming soon.